Hello and welcome to my American History Notes, where I talk about things I've learned about American history, things that amaze me and I'm interested in. I hope that you'll find something or hear something that I say that interests you and makes you want to study American history. And you don't have to come to the conclusions that I come to. You might even be offended by my conclusions, but because I'm a Bible believing Christian. But still, I'd be great if you would learn or study some of these things that interest you, that kind of compel you to study them. We're in special topics right now: art, music, literature, architecture. Okay, so we're talking about that, and I'll begin and hope you'll follow along with me here. In 1827, poet and short story writer Edgar Allan Poe anonymously published his first collection, Tamerlane and Other Poems. Excuse me. William Cullen Bryant publishes A Forest Hymn in 1832. Poe publishes manuscript found in a bottle in a Baltimore newspaper contest in 1833, winning a prize and bringing him fame as a short story writer. In 1836, Ralph Waldo Emerson writes Nature, which upsets conservatives with what we would call today New Age satanic call for, quote, spiritual transformation. The next year, he gives an address for the Phi Beta Kappa Society at Harvard University, issuing for a call for independence in American thought, with independence really meaning independent from Christian. Emerson, a one time Unitarian minister, introduced Far Eastern religious concepts into his essays, excuse me, becoming a precursor to the modern New Age movement. In 1838, Poe publishes his short story, The Narrative of Arthur Gordon Pym, and then published several stories that continue to make him famous, including The Fall of the House of Usher, 1839, The Telltale Heart, 1843, The Mask of the Red Death, 1842, and Murders in the Rue Morgue, 1841. In 1840, he publishes Tales of the Grotesque, an arabesque containing the Usher story. Emerson presents his address to the Harvard Divinity School in 1838, denying the divinity of Christ, causing great controversy. However, Unitarians don't believe Christ was God, so it's understandable that he would say that. He joins forces with another 19th century New Ager called a transcendentalist and feminist, Margaret Fuller, to found the periodical The Dial. In 1841, Emerson publishes his essays, The Oversoul and Self Reliance, in his collection, Essays First Series. Representative Men, a collection of essays, is published in 1850. Poe publishes The Gold Bug in 1843. His famous poem, The Raven, is published in 1845. Margaret Fuller publishes two radical feminist works, Women in the 19th Century and Papers on Literature and Art, in 1845 and 1846. Sculptor Horatio Greenberg began carving a marble statue of George Washington in 1832, derived from a classical Greek statue of Zeus. It would be completed in 1841 to be placed outside of the Capitol. In 1851, designer Thomas Walter is named architect of the U.S. Capitol. He's responsible for building the dome of the U.S. Senate building. In 1859, Erastus Dow Palmer creates his sculpture White Captive. John Quincy Adams Ward creates his Indian Hunter, a bronze, which in another version will be placed in Central Park. So we're going to continue talking about Native American art and photography, things like that next. So I hope you'll pay attention, and I hope that you'll dig into some of these names and really be enriched. I mean, Poe's stories are fantastic even today. Very, very good. And Murders in the Rue Morgue is supposedly the father of the modern detective story. So, in any event, I hope you'll look into this. Thank you.